You know, one depressing development in our country is the freewheeling campaigns of terrorists. Our information is that the bandits attacked Giyawa village in the Goronyo local government area of Sokoto state. 4 persons were felled in cold blood, while 18 others were abducted. Now, many valuables, including livestock, were ferried away in the process. The police are said to be on the trail of the assailants. Sometimes you think, Tony, we are a long, long way from home.
I'm tired of this, you know. It's like it has come to stay in Nigeria. I mean, it hasn't happened to either of us. It doesn't mean it's not happening. It happens on a regular basis.
Yeah.
To the extent that people are being kidnapped, terrorism has come to stay. They go to school, they abduct students, and they take them out of, communication for days, and government appears helpless. That's why we have occasional regime change. So that maybe where this one is focusing at, when this one comes, when the new one comes, it looks at it, holistically. So when we had the dawn of this new administration, I'm hopeful. I'm still hopeful.
Yeah.
Things has to change. It's like it's a daily. It's not a way of life in Nigeria. People are being kidnapped. You're traveling. Nobody wants to travel by road in Nigeria anymore because terrorism seems so. Before it was in the northeast, but it's everywhere now. Like we're not reporting other part of Nigeria doesn't mean it's not existing. It has come to stay, just like kidnapping came. Terrorism, I don't know. Government cannot appear helpless here. We cannot be saying the same thing every day and nothing is being done. I know the government, federal government is doing a lot in this regard, but for me, what I see is what I believe mostly, not what you tell me. I want to see it happen. Because just yesterday, somebody wanted to travel, and he was telling me, I can't afford to travel by road in Nigeria. I mean, I like traveling by road, but it's a risk, even when you feel you're brave to muster it. It's a big risk. Majority wants to fly. Despite the fact that, to fly today is very expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, so it has come a long way. During the last administration, 8 years, before then, same thing. And then the new administration has come, we're still talking about it. People's life matters. And I think government should sit up seriously, especially this new administration, and do something different from the old. We cannot continue to have this story all the time.
Even we can drop this here. September 11 was 2 days ago. And it marked the 22nd or 23rd year of 9/11. It took 10 long years for America to get to hit 4 days ago, okay. It took them 10 years. Remember, the Patriot Act was set in motion, and they got the man. So, but in 2009, terrorism started in our country, my country, your country, just like a child's play. Today, it's here. We're a long way from home. Or so it seems sometimes, as I said.
That's our reality. Take it to leave
Sorry, in Niger State, I hear I've forgotten his name now, the chief terrorist there is giving conditions and so on.
And collecting rent.
Collecting rent.
Protection money.
You see, when problems begin to rear its head, the best thing to do at that point in time is to cut it. If you play politics around it, if you play ignorant around it, you are simply fueling it. Now, 2009 to now, it's about 14 years. And we are yet to say uhuru, because people are being killed every day. Now, you talked about people being killed in Sokoto State. What of Taraba? What of Plateau? What of Benue? What of, I think in May, June, Zamfara was like
a no man's land.
People were being killed, people were being kidnapped, and so on and so on. And all these governors seemed helpless. I told someone something sometime ago. I said, look, the Nigerian governors are beginning to appear as if a governor is as helpless as Ibn Abu Dixon. Because as a governor of your state, you are the chief security officer of your state. And your number one, your number one duty to your people is to secure their lives and property. Whatever you have to do it. Just go ahead and do it. And at this time, with all of these killings, I'd expected that all the governors from the northeast, the northwest, and the north central would have come together and begin to brainstorm and look at how best they can work with the federal government to bring about security in these states. Like he rightly said, we know it cuts across. I'm not saying my river state is safer.
Yeah, sorry. We have a Dr. Mustafa reaching us from Kano. Doc, good evening to you. Welcome.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine. And you?
Fine, sir.
Let's go.
I'm a retired controller of immigration as well as a doctor in international relations. Hello, sir.
Yeah, well, we listen to you.
Okay. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, you are on, sir. Go on.
Okay. With regard to this terrorism, if Nigeria at all can be serious enough, there is a lot of things to be put on desk. First of all, if you want your internal security, internal affairs, or internal security of this nation to be perfect, all other organs that are responsible for their work should be put in place. We have no effective border patrol, which is the mandate of the immigration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are so many things missing in that area, whereby we have what we call expansive border areas. These expansive border areas are not being manned either by electronics or by human beings.
Okay.
And if you look at the population of immigration, they are not up to even 30 to 40,000 the whole Nigeria.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So how can the border patrol become effective? So coming back to this rail, if we can fortify the border patrol, all these things will become just a child play.
Okay.
But
thank you.
sincerely speaking,
Thank you. Ibana, what more can we say? I don't think the commander-in-chief and, of course, the service chiefs are resting on their oars, They say the dynamics would change, so you go with the flow.
Citizen, the last caller made mention of the porosity of our border. That is a major causal factor, because when they do all of these things, they escape to neighboring countries where no one can fish them out, and whenever they want, they stroll in, perpetrate their acts, and go back. So if we can at least secure our borders, then I'm looking at, if you look at most of these villages where they experience all of this, these are not developed villages. It's like they are not part of that state.
Oh yeah.
If you sometimes
or a part of civilization.
You understand, and you even development is so far away from them. So if governors would endeavor to take development to these villages and open up these, sometimes these villages are so difficult to access that when there is a cry out for help, it will take eternity for security operatives to arrive. But these criminal elements, they are very conversant with this the terrain. They know the means of to navigate such areas. So until the governors come together, what do? Firstly, bring about development, and then come together. What can you do to work with the federal government to bring security to your people? You cannot just turn them to sitting dogs.
Yeah. Tony, the last caller just talked about expanse of forest and so on in the northern part and so on. In these days of AI and modernity is here. So
Yes.
How possible is that in Nigeria, where we still have some ministers, still using old desktop? Some ministers cannot even communicate effectively through the internet. At this age and time, they're still using analog process to do things. So until we get serious, AI is too big for us. It's the truth. That's the truth. Then on this, the truth is this. We've had cases in Nigeria. We've had governors dialoguing and negotiating with terrorists in the Northeast. They know them. They know them. They call them to meetings. They sit down together. They know them physically. They beg them. They give them money to avoid things. Certain things will happen.
More in the Northwest.
Still, yes. We know this. They are not spirits now. People, they will tell you they know these people. At times they come into a village and take control and then disappear. They marry every day. They know them. Okay. These are not. If we want to deal with this issue, we must say the truth. They know these people. So when they are ready to tackle it, it's not about sitting us. It's not about us sitting us here. Until we're ready, we have the will to tackle it. We do it. It's not. I don't think it's rocket science.
At this place, we are nothing short of journalists doing our
exactly.
job, so we allow.
Keep telling them.
Yeah.
And they should not pretend not to know the solution.
We are molding opinion for them. I hope they take heed. Terrible. We can do something else.